Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Maintenance Monday live stream. I actually didn't give a lot of warning that I was going live. I got a buddy from my college days, and we're just going to be heading out to do some sightseeing and go see some trees that are 500 to 1,000 years old in the forest on the west coast. So I just wanted to go live and because I'm prepared for this tip today, and then head on out and do that later on. So today the tip, oh, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. That would be great, especially if you are watching this after the live stream and you just come across it through a search or finding the channel. Subscribe and ring that bell so that you get notifications of live streams and tutorials that come up. So today, what the point that I wanted to share, or the tip for today, for Maintenance Monday, is don't update your Joomla sites using Installatron. And I'll explain what Installatron is, and also that it's not a bad product, but it's not good for updating Joomla sites. And the reason that I found, I picked this topic for today, is I picked up a couple of new clients for maintaining their websites, updating their Joomla sites, and they had their web host updating their Joomla sites using a tool called Installatron, and it left them sort of in a bad spot where they could not update themselves, or reach the point where Installatron was breaking the site as well, installing. And so we're going to talk about that, and we'll look at really, I think, what the best tool is out there for updating your Joomla site, other than actually being in the back end of your Joomla site and updating. So let's head on over to the screen, and there we go. That's the screen I want there. And let's just talk quickly about what Installatron is. Now here is Installatron. It's in the C panel. It's a feature that I have added to my hosting company that I run, and so it's available to my clients. Some other similar types of products to Installatron would be Softaculous and also Fantastical. Now I don't know, I'm guessing that what I say about Installatron and updating Joomla is going to be the same for Softaculous and Fantastical. I don't know that for sure. I haven't tested it, but basically what Installatron does, and software like it, is you can go into your control panel, your web hosting account, and you can pick any or all of these different software packages. So there's the Joomla one. You just all these things, PrestaShop, Magento, all kinds of things, and you just basically get to install them with just a few clicks. You pick the product that you want to install, and then you would go and you pick the folder that it will go into on your server, where to have it installed. It installs all of it, helps you create a username and password for using it, and it's really is handy. And it is a good tool for installing Joomla. As you'll see here on my basic Joomla.com cPanel account, I actually have Joomla installed through Installatron 5 times. So these are just different installs I use for different tutorials. Here's one for a Helix 3 tutorial, which I haven't even done those yet. But here's the Rocket theme tutorials and Regular Labs tutorials if I'm demonstrating something from a Regular Labs extension. So basically what I've done is to quickly put a Joomla install set up on my web hosting account. I've used Installatron. And Installatron also has some tools that you can set up. I won't show them right now, but you can tell Installatron to back up your Joomla install at a certain period, and you have the option of backing it up to your web space, or you can send it off to Dropbox. Now, Akeeba does that. Akeeba, the free version, that backs up Joomla sites from right inside of Joomla. You can access it. It backs up to your server, and the Pro version will update to Dropbox, or will send your backup to Dropbox or a number of other products. So I recommend Akeeba over using Installatron, but still Installatron as a tool for backing up Joomla is a useful tool, and it does work. The problem is when you use Installatron to update Joomla, which it does give you that option, is it only updates the Joomla install itself and all of the basic things, the default things that come with Joomla. If you change one extension or add an extension, say Akeeba, or you add RS Firewall or any other extension that you add, Installatron does not update those. And so what happens is, as we know, as Joomla versions advance in different releases for security and for patches and for features, oftentimes extensions, third-party extensions that we use to add to Joomla, they don't work with the later versions of Joomla. And so you always need to be updating those too. So the best extension developers are keeping up with the development of Joomla, which is awesome. That's normal. That's what we expect to happen. But Installatron does not look at any of those extensions. It doesn't have an eye on what the latest version is or what else should be updated first or anything like that. And so what happened with these two clients that I picked up was they had sites that whenever Installatron tried to update them, it had reached a point that one of the extensions was breaking the Joomla install, and they just get the white screen of death, 500 server error. And they didn't know how to fix that. And so what the web host, who was is more focused on WordPress and knows WordPress more, they would just back them up to the older version. So they were stuck for a long time with the notification to be updating. And so Installatron kind of jammed them into place. It took me an hour and a half to get each site up to date to the latest Joomla and latest extensions, because things kept breaking when it was just the wrong order. And it was so out of date. So Installatron, great system for updating, for installing Joomla. An okay system for backing it up. Not a system to use for updating. Now, other than using the update system that's in the core of Joomla, so you go and you update the extensions that you're alerted to, and updating Joomla version, of course, always back up and do so with Akeeba. And I'll have links in the description below, and there'll be some cards dropping down, of course, as usual in this video. The other secondary source or non-core source for updating a Joomla site that I do recommend, and that is safe to go with, and the only caveat to safe being that this site itself says make sure you have backups and you know that everything is compatible together before you do a big Joomla update, is Phil Taylor's site, myjoomla.com. And I've talked a lot about that and shown some of the features of that. Remember, you have a chance to win a 1-month membership to manage one site here on the channel each month to myjoomla.com. So the reason that myjoomla.com is different than Installatron, there's probably lots of reasons. I won't just say there's one reason, because Phil probably knows lots. But I think the big reason here is that in Installatron, you're just updating the Joomla install. In myjoomla.com, you can just go and update the Joomla install, but Phil has a lot of checks in place along the way saying, have you updated all your extensions? Are you sure they're all compatible? Do you have a backup? He really guides you through the process of managing your Joomla site. And in that way, it's superior to the default Joomla updating core system. It's superior. Its superiority increases conversely to your knowledge of Joomla or experience in it. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. Basically what I'm saying is the less you know about updating Joomla, the better off you'll be using myjoomla.com, because it's going to give you tips and teach you things to watch out for, so you avoid the problems that can happen even if through lack of knowledge you update using the Joomla core system and you end up breaking something. And we see that in the forums all the time. Someone comes on and says, oh, I was updating from this version to this version and now this is happening. Why? You can avoid a lot of that by you learning from the tips and tools that are on myjoomla.com. So Installatron for backing up Joomla, bad. Joomla core, excellent. myjoomla.com as a tool, sometimes on par with the Joomla core. Maybe you get by with the Joomla core if you have a lot of knowledge of Joomla, or if you want to learn. And I'm enjoying it as a tool, and I think I know lots about Joomla and updating it and the extensions that I use on my sites. myjoomla.com is really good too. So remember, mentioned that giveaway. Check out the link below to enter. Look at that. 3 days left for November's 24 entries. Pretty good odds. You just go, and here's different ways that you can enter below. But that was the Maintenance Monday tip that I wanted to share with you today, just to help you to avoid a whole host of problems. There's no one in chat right now, which is okay, because like I said, I got to take off and go see those trees. But yes, just as a tool, and this is maybe more helpful to people that are just beginning out managing their own Joomla sites, or just taking over managing their own Joomla sites. Maybe you had someone else doing that for you. Installatron, don't update your Joomla sites with that. Probably not with Fantastical or Softaculous either. Use the Joomla Core Updater. Make sure you update everything on your site. Update your extensions. You have to keep in mind which extensions don't use the core updater. So for instance, there might be an extension that there's an update for, but it's not designed for Joomla to alert you of that. Having said that, you might want to, that might show up when you do an update search using myjoomla.com. But update everything in your site. Keep having lots of backups. Use Akeeba because it's not only a helpful tool for backing up, but it's also a helpful tool for transferring to another server, or moving your Joomla site to somewhere else. And if you're looking for a tool that gives you an advantage, makes some things a little bit easier for you, which tends to be why we gravitate towards extensions like Installatron or Softaculous or Fantastical. If you're looking for a tool for that, check out myjoomla.com. Enter the contest to see if you win this month, and enter the contest next month if you don't. But do check it out. Even just go to myjoomla.com, get the free site audit. In fact, if you want to see about that, go to the link for the giveaways and check out the video preview of that site audit. And that will save you some heartache and some frustration, because the white screen of death is a drag. And so everything that we can do to take those steps for updating and maintaining our Joomla sites that take away the frustration and the problems that can come from doing it incorrectly or using a tool that's not the proper tool for it, then that will let us, that'll avoid frustration, and it's going to let us enjoy our Joomla sites. And okay, hey, just a second, Ivor, thanks for your question there. I will tell you, so Ivor asks, have I tested any other update software like Watchful or Perfect Dashboard? Now, I haven't tested Perfect Dashboard. I actually became aware of that after I started using myjoomla.com, but I did use Watchful before I used myjoomla.com. And what I found was that on Watchful, and there are a couple of features on Watchful that I really liked, because you could install an extension, for instance, to multiple sites if you wanted to add in one go instead of logging into each one. I like that about Watchful. I did do a security scan on Watchful on one of my big sites, and it timed out. I have a couple of sites that actually, for this audit to take place through myjoomla.com, is actually taking 4 or 5 hours. And it's not because myjoomla.com is slow. Those are massive sites that are about 20, one of them is 10 gigabytes. I think one is about 20 gigabytes. And myjoomla.com does an audit, and it looks at every single file in the install. So it's not just scanning. It's going through every single file. Other websites that are smaller, like a normal size one, like me, well, what's normal, but like say 25 megabytes, 50 megabytes, it does those audits very quickly. But I did find that Watchful was timing out on that large one when I tried that feature. Also, remembering Watchful, and it'd probably be about 4 or 5 months ago that I was using it, I didn't, just as far as the tips and the information were just, in my mind, almost non-existent compared to what myjoomla.com offers. And if you look at, Ivor, if you check out some of the other Maintenance Mondays, you'll see some of the tips that I've gotten just from looking into myjoomla.com and learning and going with the tips there. And now Perfect Dashboard, so I did hear about that afterwards. I've not checked it out. And because I've just been really happy with my Joomla.com, and I'm not sure, I've not even looked into see if they have a free trial or anything for me to check out, but maybe would maybe I should take a look at that just to know. Ivor, do you use Watchful or Perfect Dashboard? Is there one that you like to use? In fact, we'll continue on this conversation right now, but I know that some of you are just watching for the tip and maybe want to move on. So for those of you that aren't going to stay, I will just sign off. Remember, and thank you for your support of this channel. And as always, I hope that you will subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, ring that bell. And enjoy your Joomla sites, and we'll see you next time. God bless. And now we'll just wait here, Ivor, for your reply to that. Well, we're looking here and just going to look to see how many. Well, we got 5 people watching. That's great. 5 people watching. Oh, in fact, here, this is the other thing. I keep forgetting to switch to the chat window when people are talking. Let's bring that up so everyone can read it. And that's good. And I'll bring up the chat for me to view. Oh, okay. Yeah, use my Joomla. Good. Ivor, are you using it to manage one site? Are you managing a bunch of your own sites? Are you using it to manage some sites for your clients? Okay, and you think that Perfect Dashboard looks very good too. What do you think looks good about Perfect Dashboard as you've been checking it out? Switch back to my glasses here too. My grandpa glasses that allow me to see the screen a bit better. While I'm just waiting for Ivor's response, I have someone. Oh, okay, around 40 sites. Nice. Yeah, I think I'm almost up to 40 sites with these last couple ones. The rest of you that are watching, if you want to just pop in and say hi. Hey, and if you're still watching, why not give the video a like? That would be great. That'll help some other people find it. Also, we get a few more people. Okay, look, it seems like it's checking the upgrades very good. Okay, cool. Well, that's an idea. I'll swing by that later on today after I check this out. Let me show you guys where I'm heading today. Just I'll find it. It's a place. I live on Vancouver Island in the west coast of Canada. It's in this province of British Columbia. And about 5 or 6 years ago, they found this place called Avatar Grove. It has some really big trees. So let me just bring this over here to show you some pictures of where I'm going to go on a hike with my buddy John here, my good friend John. So this is one of the gnarliest trees. This is a red cedar, and they figure it's between 500 and 1,000 years old. Let's check out some other sites. I actually have some trails here. Oh, here's another picture of that tree. So we're going to go check that out. They are pretty big. These are all pictures that people have posted, and looking forward to doing that today. So I'll be heading out and doing that soon. Let's bring this back up here and bring back the chat so I can see. So yeah, so I'll probably, when I get back from driving my friend up there and dropping him off at the retreat that he's going to, I'll check out Perfect Dashboard and give it a look and see what they're saying and promoting. So Ivor, just one last thing. Where are you watching from today? I think I'm running about a 20-second delay. on the YouTube streaming here, so that's why I have to wait. I think it delays just one direction, though. I think when I talk, it goes out directly. Norway. Okay, awesome. That's great. Ivor, shoot me an email so I can visit your website. Here's my email, tim@cybersalt.com. That'd be great. I'd like to drop by and see the sites of the people that are tuning into the live streams, and you're managing 40 sites, so that's great. Awesome. So I've got a date with some big trees. So I think at that point I'm just going to wrap things up. But as usual, as I always say, and I've already said once, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your support of this channel, and enjoy your Joomla sites. And God bless.